Let's take a look at the batting order for the Yankees. It'll be DJ LeMahieu, the former Rocky, at second base. Luke Voit at first base. He's got a 12-game hitting streak going with 3 home runs in that time. Gleyber Torres, shortstop. Gio Urshela is at third base hitting cleanup. Cameron Maybin, who was with the Giants during spring training, is in right field. This is his first game as a Yankee, hitting fifth. Austin Romine, the catcher. Mike Tauchman, who was in spring training with the Rockies, in center field. Thairo Estrada, left field, and James Paxton, the former Mariner, is the pitcher, batting ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Kyle Bumgarner, 6'4", 254-pounder. He is in his 10th year at the big league level. This is what he has done in 5 starts, 1-3 with a 3.66 ERA. 6-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, averaging just about a strikeout an inning. When you take your bats against him, you're going to see a low 3/4 release and a fastball that's low 90s. He will cut the fastball naturally. He's got a slider, curveball, and a changeup. Lifetime against these Yankees, he's only faced them 1 time, and that was in New York. He went 7 strong innings, gave up a couple of earned runs, struck out 6, got a no decision. Now let's take a look at the defense playing behind Madison Bumgarner. Starting the Giants outfield from left to right, Brandon Belt said, "I'll play left," and he is going to be joined by Kevin Pillar and Steven Duggar. That's your outfield. The best arm, well, that would be in right field. Crawford and Longoria there on the left side of the infield. Solarte and Austin on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Brandon Belt would argue with you about the best arm.
He would. He did. He also said he was the best outfielder out there tonight, which and he never cracks a smile. But with Pillar and Duggar, I mean, they could cover a lot of ground.
But here is LeMahieu, who has a lot of experience against Bumgarner. 44 career at bats against him. First ball swinging and just foul outside of third. Strike 1.
Off to a great start in New York. He's a hitter, and he uses the whole field. I mean, you look at the way the Giants play, I mean, it's straight up. It's as straight up as you'll see anybody in today's current game. And the reason for it is he just is a balanced hitter. He hits all over the field.
LeMahieu, 30 years old. He won some Gold Gloves at second base. When he signed with the Yankees, he was not signing as a second baseman, but as a utility guy, a super utility guy. But with all the injuries, he's been playing a lot. 2 balls and a strike now. There is Aaron Boone, his second year as the Yankee manager. He moved from the broadcast booth into the dugout. Along the right field line, a long run for Duggar. Through the bullpen, over the mound, and he trips on the bullpen, and hopefully he's okay. Looks like he is. He was going to get to that ball, and then he did not seem to be aware of that mound at all.
Well, you hold your breath after what we saw last year with Mac Williamson, left field sliding into the wall and having a concussion. Avoided a serious neck injury. Look, he never even concerns himself with it, and now his legs are taken out from underneath it. Yes, he would have caught that ball easily. Just one of the unfortunate things about having the bullpens in fair territory or in playing territory. I can guarantee that Duggar had his cage rattled right there. He's not too happy about it.
2-2. LeMahieu gets a second life. That's into the gap, left center field. Pillar will have to run it down. A double for LeMahieu.
So giving us another pitch, a second life. He takes advantage of it, but he had a pretty good pitch to hit. So on Pittsburgh on this last road trip, and Bumgarner did not have real crisp stuff early in the game. And this is just kind of a little lazy breaker. And he knew it.
And now Luke Voit will come up. Voit, who came up last year and started hitting home runs, and he really has never stopped. That is foul. He clobbered that one.
They're not waiting around. They're jumping up. They know that Bumgarner has the best percentage of first pitch strikes in the game. He attacks that strike zone, and they are laying in the bushes for it. Same thing LeMahieu did in his first at bat.
Voit has 7 home runs in only 94 at bats so far this year. 19 batted in. He's leading the Yankees in both categories. And that curveball is low and in at 78 miles an hour. Voit 6'3", 255 pounds, 28 years old. And he takes that one in the dirt, blocked by Buster Posey. 2 balls and a strike.
Good strike zone tonight for Madison Bumgarner, who likes to work corners. Ramon DeJesus, the plate umpire, he's a low ball guy, but he's got width on both sides of the plate.
Voit last year averaged a home run about every 9 at bats. And it's ball 3. Gleyber Torres is on deck. Another right-handed hitter with power. He went to the same high school in Missouri as did David Freese, now with the Dodgers, and former Philly Ryan Howard. He went to Missouri State University. Got in on him that time, and a foul ball.
Well, that's the one that Bumgarner wants you to swing at. I mean, and he can get there with a number of different speeds. He can throw a fastball, he can cut the fastball, and he can throw a slider that's a little bit bigger, a little bit slower, but with the same intent. He wants to get in on the hands of these right-handed hitters.
Three balls, 2 strikes, a runner at second, nobody out. The Yankee team really hit hard with injuries, to say the least, and yet they have been winning. Off his foot. Foul ball, still 3-2. Yankees began this West Coast trip on Monday night in Anaheim. They won that game in 14 innings, and each of the first 3 games there before they were beaten last night. That snapped a 6-game winning streak for them. That's a high fly ball. Medium right. Back to tag at second. LeMahieu. And he's going to go for it. And he'll make it.
If Duggar would have been able to get behind that ball, momentum coming to the infield, LeMahieu would have held second. But the drift of the ball took him with momentum going out towards the wall and center. And once he saw that, he took to third base easily. Under it. Now watch the drift to his right. No momentum to the play, and LeMahieu had a nice read, so that's a good 90 feet, a smart 90 feet.
The flags out at right center field indicate the wind is blowing out toward McCovey Cove. So the wind did, as you saw, grab hold of that one. There you see the flags out there. Here is Gleyber Torres, runner at third. The Giants infield in halfway. Did he swing? No, says first base umpire Jim Reynolds on the appeal. Well, this is testament to the Giants' respect for James Paxton, the Yankee starter. They don't want to allow a run on an infield grounder here in the first inning. That's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The umpiring alignment: Ramon DeJesus behind the plate, Jim Reynolds at first, Alan Porter at second, and the crew chief Mark Wegner is the third base umpire.
Bumgarner with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. You know he's thinking strikeout here.
Two and 1 the count.
Yeah, Posey wanted that pitch inside, but he didn't want it down and in. He wanted it up above the hands. So Bumgarner still looking for that release points that gives him the total command of the strike zone. It's not quite there yet.
Gleyber Torres, only 22 years old. And that one he got up and in, fouled back to the screen.
Perfect pitch.
Those are the 13 players on the disabled list right now. Andujar, the starting third baseman. Betances, one of the top setup men in the bullpen. Greg Bird, powerful first baseman. Jacoby Ellsbury been on the DL for the last couple of seasons. Clint Frazier was one of the guys they brought up to replace guys with injuries, and he was going great. Now he's on the DL. That is fair. Just barely. It must have hopped right over the bag. LeMahieu scores a double for Torres, and it is 1-0 Yankees. Evan Longoria was signaling that he thought it was a foul ball, but the umpire right on top of the plate, Wegner, said fair.
Get a chance to see it right now. That's close. Wegner's right on it, though. I mean, he felt that that thing just came over the corner of the bag, and I agree with him. That's a fair ball. Once it goes over the bag, it doesn't have to land in fair territory.
Gleyber Torres, who came up out of the minor leagues last year and hit 24 home runs. He only played in 123 games. One of the prizes of the Yankee farm system. And here's another one, Gio Urshela from Colombia in South America. Foul tip, strike one. And Urshela is hitting .283. He is the cleanup hitter tonight, which is kind of astonishing to Yankee fans. 27 years old, from Cartagena, Colombia. When he had a 3-hit game last Saturday at Yankee Stadium, he got a message from the president of Colombia congratulating him, Ivan Duque. That is in there for a called strike two.
Can you imagine how excited he was about that? To get acknowledged by your president for something you did on a baseball field.
And they say that he is outstanding in the field, an excellent defensive third baseman. That is right through the hole into left field, a base hit. Gleyber Torres will stop at third. That's the third hit of the inning for the Yankees, who have a 1-0 lead already.
Well, you can see the anger. You're getting the ground balls, and they're finding holes. And Posey, right on cue, senses a little frustration from the big fella. Going to go out there and calm him down. I mean, in his mind, he's still ticked off that Duggar had a ball that he could get to, and he tripped on the mound and couldn't catch it. That's an out that you already have in the books. Now, all of a sudden, you hang a breaking ball. LeMahieu hits a double, and now the Yankees are in position to have a crooked number go up on the board right here. There's the play that started it out. It's a ball he catches in his back pocket.
The middle infield double play that for Cameron Maybin, making his Yankee debut. And he, on the first pitch, drills a base hit to center field. 2-0 Yankees. Torres in to score. Urshela stops at second. Cameron Maybin pays immediate dividends for the Yankees, a guy who was in spring training with the Giants.
And another guy swinging at the first pitch. I mean, the Yankees are just coming up and they're hacking. They're not waiting around. They know the tendency that Bumgarner has to get strike one. He's the best in the game. And early on, that is their philosophy. Get ready, lock and load, and be ready for that first pitch.
Austin Romine, 0-1. 4 hits in the inning, including 3 in succession by Torres, Urshela, and then Maybin. 22 pitches thrown already by Bumgarner in the inning. Romine hitting .250 in 40 at bats with 1 home run. Blocked by Buster Posey. And ruled a swing. First base umpire Jim Reynolds on appeal said that was a swing. 1-2 the count.
All right, did he go? Oh, yeah, he hits that thing, it's out of the park. The guy goes down and chases one of the dirt, go right back down there and do it again.
Talkman is on deck. Hit very softly back to Bumgarner. Out number 2. The runners advance though. Urshela to third and Maben to second. There's Cameron Maben. Just brought up today by the Yankees for this game. So big moment here in this inning. The Yankees have 2 runs home and a base hit by Talkman, and suddenly it's a big inning. He's hitting 184. Former Rocky Mike Talkman, 49 at bats. He does have 3 home runs. Just off the outside, ball 1. That's a called strike. Bumgarner closing in on 30 pitches. This will be number 28 upcoming. So a very stressful first inning. That's high and foul and out of play.
Standing in that outside corner. I would be surprised if he went inside. He's in his position here in a 1-2 count where he can just start pounding the dirt off the corner away and hope he chases.
He does not chase that curveball. 79 miles an hour. 2-2.
That's a good one. Right, exactly where he wanted to pitch it. And he's got an open base here. I mean, he's ticked off. He wants to finish this inning himself. He wants to get the strikeout. And he'll take any out he can get, but he wants to punch him out. Just a little bit too much strike zone. Talkman's only hitting $184, but he's got 3 big flies. He's not a guy that really makes a big 2-strike adjustment. I mean, he thinks drive the ball. He's trying to do some damage here.
6'2", 220. Big guy. Big guy, very strong. No.
Another perfect pitch from Bumgarner. And you know what? He can do the same thing here on the 3-2 pitch. Buster sets a wide target. See how Buster just kind of moves his body over, never moves the glove, but just moves it, his body. And that, a lot of umpires call that strike 3.
Foul tip off the glove of Buster Posey. Just barely still alive.
So frustrating for a catcher. You catch a big piece of that ball, but you can't hang on to it. Now the Yankees get another pitch. Posey hangs on, inning over. That's not something you can blame on a catcher. That thing hit him on the tip of the glove. It's just the fate of the game.
Struck him out on his 33rd pitch of the inning. Yankees got 2. It could have been worse. Pilar coming up. Airlines, low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Kevin Pilar leads off. He's the Giants' RBI leader in center field. Tyler Austin, who made his major league debut with the Yankees and homered in his first career at bat back in the 2016 season. Brandon Belt in left field. Buster Posey catching. Evan Longoria at third base. Yangervis Solarte, another former Yankee, is at second base. Brandon Crawford at short. Madison Bumgarner hits 8th. And Steven Duggar 9th in right field.
On the hill tonight for the Yankees will be the left-hander James Paxton, 6'4", 227-pounder out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's in his 6th year at the big league level. Let's see what he has done in 5 starts, 2-2 with a 3.10 ERA. Look at the strikeouts. 43 strikeouts in 29 innings against 8 walks. Popped up.
Pilar and LeMahieu So just like that, after a 33-pitch inning for Bumgarner, Paxton has got one pitch and one out.
Let's take a look at the Yankees defensively behind Paxton. It'll be Estrada, Tauchman, and Maben. That's your outfield. Torres and Urshela. That's on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Voit on the right side. Austin Romine. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. Picking rocks out of his hand right now. Got a little scrape. Paxton's got a good fastball. You'll see it go mid to high 90s, more highs than mids. It's a high three-quarter release, but with a long arm delivery, so it's a little bit of a sling to it, and it really gets on you. He's also got a good curveball and slider. He can strike you out with all three.
There's that 94-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Tyler Austin, as we mentioned, hit a home run in his first major league at bat versus Tampa Bay. And then Aaron Judge came up in his first major league at bat, and he homered. Just off the outside. 2-1. So that, you don't see that every day, where two guys both in their major league debuts both hit home runs.
That's pretty cool.
One right after the other.
I mean, first big league hits, I mean, they energize. Especially when you get a highly touted rookie. And we watched it tonight with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got his first big league hit, and it just completely invigorated the bench, the stadium. It was pretty fun. So when you can imagine two guys did it back to back, and they do it with home runs, that's crazy.
Off the inside at 95.
There's Aaron Judge. Very disappointed that we haven't had a chance to watch him play. He's hurt.
And he's from Northern California, up near Sacramento. That is lined into right field for a base hit. One hop to Maben. Let's go back to 2016 against Tampa Bay. Austin, the opposite field in the corner at Yankee Stadium, just over the 314 marker. That's the home run porch. Then Judge was next.
There's no cheapie there. Oh, wow. Dead center.
408 feet to straightaway center. And it hit above the restaurant out there. Brandon Belt, one out, one on. Voit the second. Well, Belt hit it off his foot. Foul ball. And unbeknownst to Alan Porter, the second base umpire, who called him out, he was focused on his call at second base. Did not realize that it had been a foul ball. Aaron Judge, who hit, 52 home runs? His first full year in the big leagues, the year before last. The same year that Giancarlo Stanton hit 59 home runs for Miami. And then the Yankees traded for Stanton before last year. That is off the glove of Voit and down the right field line. Belt digging for second, and Maben will throw in to Voit, and the Giants have runners at second and third. Belt with the double against the left-hander.
And they're firing up this crowd. And you give up a two-spot in the first inning. I mean, you want to come up that bottom half, and you want to let the team out there know you're there, but you want to get the crowd into the game.
Buster Posey. The Giants started their winning streak as we take a look at that line drive.
Yeah, I think that fooled Luke Voit. I may have knuckled on him. God, look at me, that's the ball he should have caught.
Along the right field line, slicing foul. Ooh, that carried well. The wind blowing out in that direction. Hit the bricks above the Alaska Airlines party suite out there.
A couple of gamer beds. I expect that play to be made, though.
Infield lane back, except for Voit at first. Buster hit a 3-run homer last Sunday in Pittsburgh, and the Giants won the game 3-2. That's a foul ball. 0-2 the count. And Buster Wednesday in the getaway game in Toronto clobbered a double to the deepest part of the Sky Dome. The 400-foot marker. He short hopped the wall to knock in a run and set up another run. This is the first time he's ever batted against Paxton, though, in a big league game. Runners at second and third. Off the inside, 97 miles an hour with that one. There's Longoria on deck. 2-0 Yankees. The Giants with runners at second and third, 1 out. Maben in medium right. The catch. Both runners tag up. Maben throws in to the cutoff man, Torres. Austin scores, and the Giants score in the first inning for the first time this year.
And the stink is off the season.
The run knocked in by Buster Posey, and Tyler Austin scores the run.
Game 26 on the schedule, and they finally get a run across the plate. And a nice at bat, a 2-strike sac fly with 1 out for Posey. Job well done.
They had the longest stretch without a run in the first inning to start a season in National League history. The 1948 White Sox, for now, their record is secure. 1-1 to Longoria. Longoria has seen Paxton, but not a lot. Only 3 career at bats against him. Paxton in the American League West, Longoria in the American League East. The one hit he's had in 3 at bats, a home run. In the dirt, blocked by Roman.
Yankees do not have great arms in the outfield, average at best. And Mike Tauchman, the center fielder, I mean, he is playing deep in defense of Longoria. So you got average speed. It's at second with Belt, but if he's going to get a 2-out jump, base hit should score him. I expect to see Ron Wotus be very aggressive, challenging these outfielders this series.
Just off the inside, maybe a little bit high. 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Paxton thought he had a strike there.
You see the outfielders, the center fielder. Tauchman is very deep. Longoria had a couple of home runs on the road trip. Blew that one by him.
Power and power right there. He wasn't looking for anything but a fastball. That's the one that unnerves you when you're looking for it. You get a good location at the belt and you swing through it. You can't figure out how that happens.
Back to the screen.
Actually coming right back in and adding to it. That was 98. That's the best velocity fastball that he's had. So often you see guys reach back in that 2-strike and give you the best velocity that they have. Solarte on deck.
2-1. The Yankees lead the Giants. 2 down. Belt ready to run at second on contact. Good look out.
Good pitch. I mean, that's a kill pitch right there. That's his back foot slider. It's a tough one to lay off. Which I guess if it's going to hit you in the foot, it's an easy take.
Full count. And the curveball is too low. A walk for Longoria. Only the 4th time he has walked this year. And now, another former Yankee. Yankees Solarte will come up. Solarte, switch hitter. .205 average. In the dirt. Kept in front of the plate there by the catcher Romine, who takes time out. He's going to go out and talk with his pitcher.
You know, when you see Paxton come set, he's wiggling his glove the whole time. And he does that for a reason. Earlier in his career, he used to tip pitches. And he'd do it by setting his grip, and he would wiggle the glove, and he'd tip a pitch. So his resolve is simply to come and wiggle his glove as he brings the ball down to his belt the whole time. Problem solved. Now you don't tip a pitch. But it is a little unusual. It does remind you of El Tiante, Louis Tiant. Now watch when his hands come together at the chest and he brings them down to his waist. They'll keep him wiggling.
Brandon Crawford on deck. 2 down, 2 on. And well off the outside, 2-0. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. But the Yankees really wanted to strengthen their rotation, and they acquired Paxton from the Mariners. 3 prospects, including Justice Sheffield, a left-handed pitcher who is one of their top pitching prospects. Broken back grounder toward the middle. Not hit hard enough to make it through. And the shovel from Torres to LeMahieu in time for the force out on Longoria. The Giants get the 1, trailing 2-1. Into the second inning, the 8th place hitter, Thairo Estrada, leads off for the Yankees. Right over the outside corner, strike 1. Estrada just brought up this week, 5 feet 10 inches tall. He's from Venezuela and is only 23 years old. If you've got some talent and you're in the upper farm system for the Yankees, you're probably here already with all the injuries they've had as he takes strike 2.
Well, 13 guys on the disabled list, and it's going to give a lot of opportunity to guys down below, AAA level, and even lower. Put it this way, it's a good time to get hot if you're in the minor league system for the Yankees.
And Estrada got the call. He's had 4 big league at-bats. He's had 2 hits and a walk. Right to Crawford at short. 1 away. Now let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen. Well, a very special moment for Kevin Pillar last Tuesday when he went back to the place where his baseball career started, Toronto. The fans gave him a long-standing ovation and, of course, a fantastic video tribute when he took center field. They displayed signs that said, "You'll always be our Superman." Pillar played with Toronto, gentlemen, 6+ years, and understandably, he was emotional with tears in his eyes after the game when he told the media that he had so many good times and memories from his time in Canada, and he was very appreciative of how the fans appreciated how he plays the game. Well deserved, gentlemen.
Thank you, Amy. Amy G. There's a called strike on the inside to Paxton. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 1 out, nobody on. We knew that he'd been a popular figure up there. We didn't quite realize how popular until we got there and saw it for ourselves. I mean, they gave him ovations when he came out onto the field just to run some wind sprints before the game. They gave him an ovation when his name was announced during the public by the public address announcer during the lineups, and then when he came to the plate, it was an ovation that just wouldn't end.
It was really one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and don't think that didn't go unnoticed by everybody in the big leagues. Every player that has a number saw that, and they were all impressed by it.
That's all for Paxton. 2 down. The series of the Yankees continues with day games tomorrow and Sunday. Tickets start at only $49. Tomorrow, the first 35,000 fans attending will receive a Willie Mays bobblehead presented by Konica Minolta. Sunday, day baseball. The Yankees, the Giants at 1:05. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com. The Sunday game, Derek Rodriguez, who's been throwing so well, will be up against Domingo Germán, another Yankee out of the farm system, and he's been throwing exceedingly well. Tomorrow, Derek Holland for the Giants against left-handed Jay Happ. A couple of veteran lefties head-to-head tomorrow. LeMahieu got a second chance after appearing to foul out to right field. The right field bullpen mound interceded to give him his second chance, and he lined the next pitch for a double. That started a 2-run first inning rally for the Yankees. 2-1. LeMahieu in the National League. He was a batting champion one year. What was it, 3 years ago with Colorado?
Good numbers lifetime against Bumgarner.
Crawford, high hop. 3 up, 3 down inning. Bumgarner needed a quick inning. Crawford, then Bumgarner coming up. The Pablo Sandoval has homered in consecutive games in 4 years. The last time he did it, he was with the Boston Red Sox in 2015.
First pitch, flame at 96. A jump on top of 1. Crawford will use left field against a lot of guys like Paxton. Not that there's a lot of guys like him, but he's a hard-throwing lefty. 2 types of breaking ball, curveball, slider. Crawford, when he's going good, he uses that left side.
One ball, 1 strike. 95 off the inside. Crawford hitting .202. 2 extra base hits, 2 RBIs. 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, broke him down. He got caught in between thoughts on that swing. I mean, you sit and breaking ball, and then a fastball goes by at 96, and then you just, it breaks you down.
Slider in the dirt outside. He is hitting extremely well versus lefties overall. A .286 batting average versus left-handed pitching. 36 plate appearances versus lefties. And well, that's one of those. Sometimes a guy will sneak one right past the bag at third.
You know, and look, you have to respect Paxton. He's got high velocity fastballs. So in 2-strike situations like that, he paints you on the outside corner. Just use your hands. There wasn't a lot of lower body in the swing.
3-2. Struck him out. The high hard one at 97.
That's the one that is so hard to lay off because you see it so well. And you just can't keep your top hand on it.
Madison Bumgarner now to try and help his cause. The Giants down by a run. Bumgarner has had 3 hits and 11 at bats. One of them a home run.
Oh, mano right there. Oh, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball and a 114-mile-an-hour swing. Just an estimate.
No, that's what I had it as.
I don't know many pitchers that have challenged Bumgarner back-to-back fastballs all year, righty or lefty.
Well, not that many of them throw 97, 98 miles an hour. 0-2 the count. And a check swing. Hard breaking ball at 83 in the dirt. One out, nobody on. 2-1, the Giants are trailing. High and foul and back out of play.
Just missed it. And that's the I just missed it look.
What are you seeing? Yeah. First base umpire. Reynolds rings him out. 2 down.
Yeah, he had the 2-strike gift, and one he fouled off. No question, he swung.
Now Stephen Duggar. Well, glad to see the Duggars even still in the game after he flipped head over heels over that bullpen mound, going for the foul fly off the bat of LeMahieu in the first inning. At the high strike with that one, 0-1. Paxton with 2 straight strikeouts to start this inning. Crawford and then Bumgarner. Now 45 strikeouts this year in 30 2/3 innings.
Saw the 269 on base percentage, and that's really one of the reasons why he's not at the top of the lineup. The other one too is you're facing a high 90s throwing lefty. But it is an area that Duggar needs to improve upon.
Two balls and a strike to Duggar. 2 down, nobody on. Whoa, that gave him a real high one on the first one and a real low one on that one.
Yeah, that's the Ramon DeJesus, the plate umpire. I mean, you see a lot of these down low. I mean, he's a low ball guy. He'll give one of the lowest strikes in all of the umpire world.
Now it's a full count.
See that breaking ball to dirt, then he comes right across the letters with 97. Guy's a strikeout pitcher. He's got 3 weapons he can get you with.
And he gets everybody he faces in this inning. 3 consecutive swinging strike threes. On to the third. Here's Luke Voit, powerful right-handed hitter. Ball 1. You mentioned Voit. He had 14 homers and only 132 official at bats last year as a rookie. And he's got 7 so far this year in 95 at bats. Shot down the line. Duggar cuts it off, and he'll hold Voit to a single, a very hard hit single.
Well, if you're looking for the perfect way to celebrate your mom's this Mother's Day, check out these Giants Mother's Day offers. You can enjoy the game from the luxury suite or a pregame brunch presented by C's Candies in Triples Alley, or get 20% off on 2 tickets or more plus $10 of stored value. So spend your Mother's Day at Oracle Park. Visit sfgiants.com/mom for all of our special offers.
Gleyber Torres hit a double to knock in the first run of the game in the first inning. Now he bunts it. And he's tagged out by Tyler Austin, with Voit moving over to second.
Well, it's going as a sacrifice, but I don't think that was his intent. He was thinking base hit. Which, you know, look, a guy's got 4 home runs like Torres has, 17 RBIs. He's doing you a favor when he's bunting like that. I don't think it's a good play.
So here is Urshela. Gio Urshela. He singled his first time. Runner at second, 1 out. Rips one into left field, a base hit. And Belt can't handle it. Scoring is Voit. Urshela goes to second on the error. 3-1 Yankees.
Again, aggressive early in the count. He gets a pretty good pitch to hit up around the belt, middle in. And there's something you don't see very often. Usually, if Belt can get his arm to it, it's going in the sweet spot, right off the fingertips.
But the single and an RBI for Urshela, who's 2 for 2. And then an error charged to Belt, allowing him to go to second. Here's Cameron Maben, who singled, knocking in a run his first time.
Good first pitch change up there. Just mixing it up. Like if you have a team that's really aggressive on you on the first pitch, you can use that against them. Mix your pitches up and pitch to your location. Make it a corner pitch. Don't just lay it out over the middle of the plate. Because they're going up there and they're in the go mode. They want to swing. Throwing in the inside corner on the hands. Bumgarner's philosophy has always been attack, get ahead, then get out on the corners.
And that's a foul out of play. Maben, well traveled, a veteran. Maben's been around a while, but this is the first time that he's ever faced Bumgarner in a game. Austin Romine on deck. And that is all for Maben.
Couple of change up in the outside corner, perfectly placed. Once he gets the 2-strike count, he buries that back foot slider.
Been a lot of action in this inning, but this will only be the 9th pitch of the inning thrown by Bumgarner. This is the 5th batter to come up in the inning. A run is in, runner at second. And that curve stays off the outside. Romine tapped one right back to Bumgarner his first time, so he's 0 for 1. Yankees got 2 in the first. The Giants got 1. Now the Yankees have 1 here in the third, and a runner at second. A ball and a strike now to Romine. Talkman, a left-handed hitter, is on deck. Yankees in for 3 over the weekend, and then the Dodgers come in for 3. Their first visit to San Francisco this year, starting Monday night. For many, many years, until 1958, all 3 of those teams were in New York. Giants and Dodgers. Giants played in Manhattan, the Dodgers played in Brooklyn, and the Yankees played across the river from the Giants' Manhattan ballpark in the Bronx. 2,925 miles away, I believe. Longoria throws out Romine. As the Yankees add a run. 3-1 New York. Top of the order. Pilar, Austin, and Belt.
6 innings, 2 hits allowed, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and he did it on 87 pitches. He was masterful. And that's our NorCal Acura precision pitching.
Kevin Pilar, who hit the first pitch he saw tonight from James Paxton and popped it up to second. Over in left center field. There is Talkman. And one away. That's Pilar's nature. He's a very aggressive hitter.
Well, he got a good fastball to hit. I mean, that's exactly what you want him to do with that pitch, that location. I mean, he's coming back to the dugout thinking, I just missed it.
Now Tyler Austin, who ripped a single his first time. It's the Giants' hardest hit ball of the game so far. On 1.
So backdoor slider, perfect location.
Austin, we mentioned how he hit a home run in his first at bat as a Yankee and in the big leagues. 1 ball, 1 strike. Austin had 24 home runs and only 367 major league at bats. Coming into this season, he hit 17 last year and only 244 at bats. That's pretty good. Blew that high hard one at 97 miles per hour right by him. 1-2. He's shaking his head about it.
I mean, that's the one you say to yourself, I want to lay out that one at the letters. Because it's just too hard to cover at that velocity.
Fourth strikeout for Paxton. The Dodgers in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Watch the pregame show live from Willie Mays Plaza. The first 500 fans will get a collector edition Madison Bumgarner cheer card and an authentic Giants fan water bottle. The giveaways will start at 5 o'clock on NBC Sports Bay Area.
Who doesn't want a water bottle?
Got to stay hydrated. And it's reusable.
Yeah.
Good for the environment. And did I mention that it was free?
Yeah, free's good.
1-1 to Belt. Belt hit a kind of a changeup that fooled Luke Voit, the first baseman. It left his bat at only 79 miles an hour. Voit figured he must have left his bat at 99 miles an hour. That is strike 2 called. But Belt got a double, setting up the Giants' run in the first inning. They trail now 3-1. 2 down, nobody on. Got the overload on the right side of the infield. Belt lunging for that hard knuckle curve and got a piece of it. Belt is the team leader in home runs. He's hit 5. Leads the team in walks. But his batting average is only .232. That was going to reach the upper deck. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Yankees. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants. Fan with a souvenir.
I think he caught it with his hat. Got a bit.
Nobody at third base. The Yankees with the shift. And now it's 2-2 to Brandon Belt. Belt hitting only coming into this game only 189 against lefties, but he does have a hit tonight against this particular lefty. Buster Posey on deck. Going back in left field, Estrada. And the Giants' last 7 hitters have gone down against Paxton 3-1.
Metallica night. It's such a hit. And
so cool.
It's so cool. How do you describe the relationship that your band has with the Giants in the Bay Area?
I mean, 7 years of this and flying the flag for San Francisco all over the world. We couldn't be prouder. And coming out to the ballpark Friday night, they're playing the Yankees. The weather's good. It's relatively mild for San Francisco. The winds are, see, the flags are not going bonkers over there. They're pretty still over there. It's a great night, and it's just been so amazing to have this relationship with the Giants. And obviously, for 35 years, Metallica has represented San Francisco, the Bay Area, all over the world, and we're so proud of that affiliation. And it just, you know, it's not LA, it's not New York, it's not anywhere else. It's just San Francisco, and this is our backyard.
It is your backyard, but as you mentioned, you guys are world-renowned. You're known all over the world. So what's next up for Metallica on the tour?
We leave on Sunday for Lisbon, and we start a whole European summer tour. We're doing about 25 shows in Europe, all over, all outdoors, mostly European soccer stadiums, which is amazing. So if you look at how fortunate our lives already are, and you know, the pinnacle is sort of like outdoors in the summer, playing. We did a stadium run in the U.S. and played mostly baseball and football stadiums 2 summers ago, and now we're doing the same in Europe. So it just doesn't get any better than that. We're so excited. So that starts, we leave on Sunday, starts next week, and takes us up till August. And then, of course, after that, we come back, and the week after that, we're just down the street opening the new Oracle, strike that. Opening the new Chase Center.
I gotcha.
It's hard with all these corporate names here.
I know.
So the new Chase Center, and being the first, not only band in, but the first event in, and celebrating, that whole opening thing, but also sharing that stage with Michael Tilson Thomas and the San Francisco Orchestra. So it's a real night of celebration for San Francisco. So we're very proud and excited to be part of that.
That sounds perfect. We'll be watching. Lars, we love you guys. Keep rocking. We love it. Metallica
Thank
night.
you. And we love you, San Francisco and the Giants.
John.
All right. Thanks, Amy, and thanks, Lars.
Yeah, they really have represented Northern California for so long. Nothing but energy. Always a great show.
On the way to Lisbon.
How much fun is that going to be? Think they're going to have a good time this summer?
Hit well by Estrada, but to the big part of the yard out there. Pilar, 2 down. Lars threw the first pitch out tonight.
Nice. The big pressure is don't bounce it. He did not. That'll be on you, Lars.
Will Smith caught it, and then he signed it for him. So 2 down, nobody on. Here is Paxton, the pitcher, against Bumgarner. 3-1, the Yankees lead the Giants. Metallica with a Yankee connection too, because the entrance song for the great Mariano Rivera, who's going into the Hall of Fame this year, was a Metallica song. What is it? Enter Sandman?
Yep. One of the greatest walk-ins for a reliever ever.
Bumgarner has a quick inning. 5th strikeout of the game. Buster Posey coming up when we come back. He knocked in the first run tonight, the first run in the first inning of the game for the Giants this year. That's not the kind of a thing where you have a big celebration, because it'd be kind of like you were one of the survivors of the Titanic and you made it to the other ship and you don't celebrate.
Yeah, to yourself you do.
So here's Buster against Paxton, and that knuckle curve is low for ball 1.
You brought up an interesting point a couple of days ago. We really haven't a chance to talk about it, but John Sterling, the broadcaster for radio for the New York Yankees, stopped by today, and he was raised a Yankee fan as a kid. And he came in, we're talking. He says, you know, when you were raised in New York, he says, it was always a big deal about who had the best center fielder. Was it the Yankees with Mantle? Was it the Giants with Mays? Was it Duke Snyder and the Dodgers? He says, but I used to argue about who had the best broadcaster. I mean, you think about the broadcasters that those franchises had in New York. All of them are Hall of Famers. Mel Allen with the Yankees. Russ Hodges with the Giants. There's John Sterling and Susan Walden. And then Red Barber and Vince Scully with the Dodgers. I mean, those are pretty. All those guys are Hall of Famers.
Every one of them.
Just like DiMaggio, Mantle, Mays, and Snyder.
Did he swing? An appeal? No, says Jim Reynolds. 2-2 to Buster Posey. Longoria on deck, then Solarte. Red Barber at one point left the Dodgers and went to the Yankees. Red Barber and Mel Allen, 2 historic broadcasters, pioneers in baseball, were on the same club. Cameron Maben, Buster Posey is out number 1 here in the 4th. Now Longoria will come up. Kurt Gowdy also, he broadcast in New York with Mel Allen for a time. Kurt Gowdy, a great broadcaster who ended up leaving the Boston Red Sox eventually, where he was one of the most popular broadcasters in Red Sox history, and he went to NBC and became one of the great legendary broadcasters on national television. He did Rose Bowls, Super Bowls, you name it. He did the World Series every year, the All-Star Game. 0-1 the count to Longoria. He walked in the first. They got the overshift on for him. And high and foul and out of play off to the right. Strike 2. It's a big night for sports here. They got the Giants Yankees here. And over in Oakland, the Warriors trying to clinch I beg your pardon. The Warriors are down in L.A. at the Staples Center, trying to avoid having to play a Game 7 up here as Longoria is thrown out by Torres. 2 down, and then the Sharks moved on, and they're in their second round series tonight in the NHL. When we were in Toronto Tuesday, the Giants and Blue Jays played, and Kevin Pillar, the real popular Blue Jay, the Blue Jays fans gave the nickname Superman. But at the same time, tipping off at almost the same time, the Toronto Raptors were playing in an elimination game for them to move on, and the Toronto Maple Leafs were also playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs at the same time, trying to avoid elimination down in Boston.
Game 7.
They got eliminated. One and one.
All the sports bars in Toronto, you couldn't find a seat.
Solarte came up with the Yankees originally. 2-1 the count to him. He broke his bat, grounding into a force play to end the first inning. The Giants have not had a base runner since. He was up there with 2 men on and 2 men out. 9 straight Giants have been retired, starting with Solarte in the first by Paxton. And it goes to 3-1. Crawford on deck. But it's great to be in an area when you're a sports fan that has that kind of action this time of year.
This is a great time of year. It really is.
High and foul and out of play off to the right.
But Toronto is a good city for the Giants. I mean, they swept the Blue Jays at home. Bruce Bochy was joshing around the batting cage today. He said, you know what? Metallica's doing the anthem tonight. I want them to do the Canadian anthem before they do ours. We're pretty good when they play that song.
Right back to Paxton. So that's 10 straight Giants retired by Paxton. Top of the order for the Yankees. LeMahieu coming up.
The entire home. Visit your nearest Living Spaces today or online at livingspaces.com.
Bumgarner, who had a fairly quick 4th inning, 10 pitches and out. Ball 1 to LeMahieu, who has doubled and scored a run and grounded out to short. Pulls a ground ball foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's not sharing.
Right in front of a Tigers fan. Looks like a pretty good crowd here tonight.
Good crowd. Not a sellout, but that time they have mid-30s.
Now 2-1.
Change up. I think a few times he hasn't found the strike zone or a corner with that changeup. 70th pitch for Bumgarner. Ideally, you want to be 75 or less at the end of the 5th. So he's had to throw a little above average in pitch count. A little more than usual.
Yankees got 2 in the first against Bumgarner, and they added 1 in the 3rd.
That's why this is a big inning, because he's facing the top of the lineup again. They've been hard on him.
That one down off the leg or the foot, and that hurts. Mayhew took him a little time to get back up, and he will limp around trying to shake it off. Steve Donahue, the head trainer.
See, well, what does it feel like? Well, wake up in the middle of the night, go into the kitchen, open up the refrigerator door, and have a full jar of jam drop on your foot. Or hit you in the knee.
Got him in the back knee.
It just hurts. And, you know, it's unexpected. It's the last thing you're thinking about.
Base hit. Second hit for LeMahieu.
Well, tomorrow p.m. on NBC Bay Area, Too Short, E40, and G-Eazy. You can hear from these legendary artists about how they created their own sound, set their own rules, and shaped the story of Bay Area hip-hop. Bay Area Revelations, the culture of hip-hop, tomorrow night at 10 p.m. right here on NBC Bay Area.
Off the bat of Luke Voigt, the powerful right-handed hitter.
I mean, these are tough days for E40. I mean, he's a great fan. He goes to a lot of sporting events here in the Bay Area. And you got 3 of the Bay Area teams playing here. Well, I guess one's in LA, the Warriors, but I'm sure he'd like to go down there. Sharks, Giants here.
On the inside corner, strike 2.
I love it when the entertainment world supports the sports world and vice versa, especially local artists. Here on Metallica night, it's just a cool event. If Metallica knew how many guys walked around the clubhouse before the game with their music blaring in their headphones, I mean, they would appreciate it.
And that's a foul ball. Right past third base coach Phil Nevin, former Giants third base coach. 1-2. There's Phil Nevin. It's looking good.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Saw Ryan Callen, our ball dude, make a nice play.
2-2 now to the dangerous Luke Voigt, who has flied out to right and singled.
Ryan Callen, the ball dude on the first base side. That's Adam Hammer.
Hammer. That's a familiar sounding name, isn't it? LeMahieu back to the bag.
KMBR 680, you think of Lee Hammer. You know, he showed Phil Nevin. One of the great things about Phil Nevin, when he's a third base coach, he gets to know the ball dudes.
On the foul, still 2-2.
Pounding the knees, trying to get that ground ball. One of the best things that Bumgarner has always been able to do is get the ground ball, and he gets them with the curveball and the slider down at the knees. That's his ground ball pitch. If you're playing on the left side of the infield behind Bumgarner, I mean, you know when they put down the sign for slider, that's going to be a ball that you can get it at the knees. Good chance you're going to get a ground ball.
So the battle continues.
It's a good battle right here. 80 pitches on the night.
And he's facing one of the most dangerous hitters in this current Yankees lineup. A lineup that's missing Judge, Stanton, Andujar, Hicks. And one of the guys who was filling in so ably with all of those people down was Clint Frazier. Now he's out. Sprained his ankle this week. Another foul ball. 2-2. Andujar, the third baseman. Bird, one of the first basemen. Ellsbury had been out for a long time. Frazier, who was just doing a great job in the outfield. 6 homers, 17 batted in 18 games. Gregorius, who had the Tommy John surgery in the offseason, the shortstop. Hicks, the center fielder. Judge, the right fielder. Stanton, who plays outfield and DHs. That's a base hit. One at bat for Voigt. Belt can't get to it. And coming around is LeMahieu to score on a double for Voigt. It's 4-1 Yankees.
cheer by the crowd here tonight lets you know how many Yankee fans there are, because they were yelling Luke. That was not a boo.
They fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch and then got one to handle. And here is Gleyber Torres on the right field line and back out of play. And on the 9th pitch that he saw, Voit hits the double.
Those are the ones that hurt you if you're on the mound. And you go that deep into a pitch count against one hitter. I mean, you want to win that duel. And when you lose it, it hurts more.
Duggar heading for that bullpen mound again. This one stays in play. Voit tags up. Duggar's throw. The tag by Longoria. He's out. A double play. What a throw by Steven Duggar. One hop and right to the bag.
This is just a great play. Gives you an idea what kind of arm strength he has, but look at the accuracy. All Longoria has to do is catch and drop. That is the big leagues. Nick Vincent getting ready in the Giants pen. Pitch count dictates that.
Here's Urshela, who's 2 for 2 in the game. Four to 1 Yankees. That's a huge play. That's one out and a runner at third if they don't get him at third. 2 down and the base is empty now. 2-0 the count to Urshela. Urshela with Andujar injured. Andujar might be back in a week or so. He had a lot of home runs for the Yankees last year. Urshela been doing a great job and is, from what we hear, better defensively at third than Andujar. And Urshela right at the moment with a .313 batting average, .382 on base percentage. Duggar, plenty of room for this one. But the Yankees had a run. The Giants offense dormant. They didn't count. It was an exhibition game. But now you know a little backstory.
Now you know the rest of the story.
As Paul Harvey used to say. Brandon Crawford struck out his first time facing Paxton. The Giants have not had a base runner since the first inning when they scored a run. 10 in a row since then, retired by Paxton.
Yeah, they need to get him in the stretch.
One ball and 2 strikes now.
Still looking to get their leadoff hitter on base. They have not been able to do that against Paxton.
Madison Bumgarner is on deck. .96-mile-an-hour fastball up. That is into center field and it gets down, base hit. Well, they tried to fool him with the knuckle curveball and Crawford jumped on it.
Waited well, kept his hands back. I mean, you can almost tell when Crawford goes up there what he's looking for. Watch the back leg, and the weight stays back, the hands stay back. Good balance through the swing, a little bit of reach, but still, he's sitting on the soft speed, gets it, and puts the Giants on base to lead off an inning for the first time tonight.
Bumgarner struck out his first time. 4-1, the Giants are trailing. Crawford back to the bag. Jose Alguacil, the first base coach, whispering something to Crawford after Ron Wotus flashed some signs from the third base coaching box.
Little slide step release. 1.22 seconds from Paxton. That's quick. Not really a steal situation here for the Giants, down 3 runs. Unless Crawford has him pegged and absolutely knows that he's going home where he could get an enormous jump, but I still don't think it's worth the wait.
Big rip and a foul. Back to the screen. Strike 2. Steven Duggar is on deck. 4 strikeouts so far for Paxton in 4+ innings. Bumgarner lays off this one. He struck out on a pitch similar to that his first time. Four runs, 8 hits for the Yankees. The Giants 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. And he blew it right by him.
Yeah, he's going to think about that one. I mean, he hasn't seen that many fastballs off one pitcher like he has tonight against Paxton all year. Maybe the last 2 years. I mean, that is exactly what he prays for. A belt-high challenge fastball. It does make you think.
So 1 down. 5th strikeout for Paxton. Here is Duggar. He struck out swinging in the 2nd. Little off the outside at the knees. Ball 1. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Dodgers playing at home tonight. And they have a 6-2 lead over the Pirates in the last of the 5th inning in LA. Pretty good rip on that one. Fouling it straight back.
Right on it. You get 1-0 count leverage, down 3 runs. He's going to challenge you. And I think he was looking middle in too. And he's thinking he just missed one. You get a guy who's got stuff like Paxton, and you guess right, and you get the pitch you're looking for, and you foul it back. I mean, you're mad at yourself.
There goes Crawford. Down and away. Ruled a swing on the appeal. No throw made by Romine. A steal for Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, he definitely had his tell. He knew when he was going home. That was a huge jump. That's exactly what, if a guy's going to give it to you, you've got his move, and you know you can get a first jump on that. That's just a tremendous jump. Even if the guy's 1.22 seconds home and you're putting your catcher in a hole.
First steal of the year for Crawford.
And that's how he steals it. He steals it with his mind.
Two and 2. In that game in LA, Cody Bellinger with another home run, his 13th of the year. He's got 33 RBIs. Austin Barnes also a home run down there. 6-2 Dodgers. That game is in the last of the 5th inning.
Bellinger's the best player in the league right now, by far.
Ooh. Strike 3 call to the outside.
Yeah, that's a frustrating at bat because that location had already been established in the sequence and it had been called a ball. Now you get into a 2-strike situation. You see a pitch go even wider than what was called a strike, and you get rung up on it. And that's the inconsistency that really can frustrate a player with an umpire strike zone. That's a pretty good pitch, but it had already been called a ball earlier in the sequence.
Now Pilar, runner in scoring position, 2 down. 0-1. Pilar has popped up to second and flied out to left center. 4-1. The Giants are trailing. Base hit could mean a run here. That'll reach back out of play.
That's the fourth pitch that he's seen in 3 at-bats, and they've all been fastballs.
In the dirt, Crawford will have to stay at second. Good job there by Romine to make sure that he did not move up. 1 and 2. That was the 84th pitch thrown by Paxton in this game. The Giants have done a pretty good job in building up his pitch count.
Remember, 75 or less after 5, so this will be 10 pitches above the norm.
Puts him away with a curveball. His 7th strikeout in 5 innings. 4-1 Yankees on to the 6th.
And he's all set to take on Cameron Maben, who was wearing a Giants uniform this spring training. I don't think Cameron Maben had any idea that he'd be batting for the Yankees in the 5th spot at the end of April. Yet, here he is.
He has an RBI single tonight. Knocked in the Yankees' 2nd run in their 1st inning rally. They've got 2 in the 1st. They got a run in the 3rd and another run in the 5th. And everything's been set up at the top of the order against Bumgarner. LeMahieu, Voit, Torres, Urshela. And then Maben is the only guy out of the top 4 who's contributed to the offense. Hitting 5th. He'll be followed here by Romine and then Tauchman. This will be pitch number 92 thrown by Bumgarner in this game. The Yankees have 4 runs on 8 hits against him. And that's a foul out of play. LeMahieu, the leadoff man's got 2 hits. Voit, 2 hits. Torres a hit, an RBI double. Urshela hitting cleanup, 2 hits, and then Maben a hit. That's all of the hits from those 5 players.
It's an Aaron Judge fan.
Off the end of the bat to center field. Pilar in a little bit. 1 away. We're going to check in now with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen. Well, Major League Baseball umpires are at it again. They're hosting their 11th annual fundraiser, Umps Care. And the online auction, gentlemen, it's open right now, and it goes through April 29th. And more than 400 items are available, including autographed sports gear, VIP experiences like live BP hotel stays. And the money raised helps a variety of causes like ill children, financial assistance for families in need. It also provides college scholarships. Head to www.mlb.com/umpscare and start bidding right now. John?
All right. Thanks, Amy. Good cause. Base hit for Romine, his first hit of the game. He is 1 for 3. Dodgers in here on Monday night. Dodgers have a 6-2 lead over the Pirates in LA. At the top of the 6th inning. How about the Arizona Diamondbacks?
Red hot.
Arizona is leading the Cubs 7-3 in the desert tonight. They just swept a 4-game series from Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, which was pretty impressive. The D-backs a half game back of the Dodgers at the top of the National League West at the start of the day. And they have been especially good on the road. They've played most of their games, 2/3 of their games on the road so far. And they're 11-6 on the road.
I thought you were going to try and wing it back on the field there for a second. Young lady in the stands.
That's a swing and a miss. 0-2 to Tauchman, who has struck out in each of his at-bats. 0 for 2. Bumgarner closing in on 100 pitches. This will be number 97 upcoming. Runner at first, 1 out.
Nice little paralysis fastball effort. You know, I just think about April. It's so interesting. I mean, you never know who's going to get hot. Who's going to find chemistry first? You know, it's not the incumbent world champions.
That's a base hit to left field. He couldn't put him away. And Chalkman gets a single. Romine to second with one out. And now Thairo Estrada will come up, and the Giants bullpen will spring into action. There's Nick Vincent.
Yeah, he's already had one hump. It's not going to take him that long to get ready to go. He could probably be ready in 10 pitches, 10 throws.
The Red Sox, you're talking about them. 11 wins, 15 losses. They were going to play the first place team in the Eastern Division, Tampa Bay, at Fenway tonight, but they got rained out. Ball 1 to Estrada. Colorado won in Atlanta, and the Padres won in Washington. They beat Sean Doolittle.
It's not easy to do. Closer for the Nationals. He's having a good season. Those are the losses that hurt a little more.
That's a base hit to center field, over into right center. Romine will come around to score. Chalkman goes to third, and now it is 5-1 Yankees. 3 straight hits with one out here in the 6th inning. Now Paxton, the pitcher, coming up.
Vincent is ready to go. One situation here for Paxton.
This is the first time that the latter part of the Yankees lineup has gotten it going against Bumgarner. Paxton bunts foul.
Giants going to play very aggressive on the corners with the idea they can get that ball in play and get the out at second base. They can get the double play, get out this inning.
The Yankees put a pinch runner in at first base. That is Tyler Wade. So a faster runner goes in at first base. That's a called strike 2. Chalkman at third, Wade at first. Bunted. Barehanded pickup by Longoria, and a nice play. The runner at third, Chalkman, stayed put all the while, which was fortunate for the Giants.
That was a great bunt. I mean, you're kind of a rock and a hard place as a third baseman to make that play. But Longoria, Gold Glover, made it well.
So Vincent will come in to face DJ LeMahieu with runners at second and third, and the Yankees ahead 5. We could not do it without it. So here is Vincent, and he gets a high strike to LeMahieu, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Madison Bumgarner goes 5 2/3 innings and touched up not just for 5 runs, but 11 hits, and the 11 hits equals the most hits he's ever allowed in a game in his career. 4th time he's allowed that many. First time he's allowed that many in 7 years. 2012 against the Rockies at Coors Field in Denver was the last time.
Well, when Kurt Young, the Giants pitching coach, goes over and evaluates how the night went for Bumgarner, he's going to sit down with the big man. He's going to say, look, you got a lot of ground balls that found holes. And that happens.
He swung 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bumgarner on a night where he didn't walk anybody had 5 strikeouts. A frustrating night for him. But there were a lot of balls that, 5 or 6 hops that made its way to the outfield, and then that's the night where it's just not going to be your night.
Runners at second and third. And a cutter for the strikeout. 5-1 Yankees. Austin, Belt, and Posey coming up.
From true masters of craft, born and cast, forged by sound, blackened. This is whiskey remastered.
Tyler Austin leads off. And the count is 0-1, and he thought it was too low. Tyler Wade stays in to play left field after coming in as a pinch runner for Estrada in the first half of this inning. Brandon Belt is on deck.
Have you heard about this blackened whiskey? Metallica. Now, I'm telling you where Metallica's at on this thing. This tells you a little something about it. This whiskey gets put in barrels, and then they play Metallica music. And the low hertz sound waves that causes the whiskey to further interact with the wood.
So it's science and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Talk about a blending of 2 different arts there.
So, you wonder why these guys are legends for 35 years. It's not just the music. They're making good whiskey with that good music.
Still 1-2. Austin had a big rip at that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. He's had a single and scored the Giants' run. He's also struck out. Giants have only had 1 hit since the first inning against Paxton, who has 7 strikeouts through 5. Two and 2. Giants need base runners. They've only had 1 since the first inning. There's Belt on deck. Buster Posey due up third in the inning. And it's a full count now. That was the 91st pitch thrown by Paxton. And when he pitches, they like for him to go deep into a game. And it's a walk. Well done by Tyler Austin when the Giants need base runners. And he coaxes a walk.
Yeah, especially important too. When you're the number 2 hitter, you're leading off. You're down 4 runs. You get on base and set it up for the heart of your lineup. I mean, that's a good at bat. And there were 3 close pitches there when he was down to count 1-2.
Brandon Belt hit a double his first time. That somehow made it over the glove of Luke Voigt at first. He flied out to left his second time. 3 infielders to the right of second in the dirt. Paxton has not been working out of the stretch very often since the first inning.
Yeah, he's going to start getting their bullpen going.
Jumping out of the Yankee dugout and heading down, Tommy Kahnle, right-hander. Foul off the left field line. Belt had a couple of home runs on the just concluded road trip.
Well, self-inflicted wake-up call. Go down there with a water bottle and give yourself a good douching.
Talkman all the way back at the wall. Tagging and heading to second is Austin. And he's in there standing up.
That's a frustrating at bat for Belt. He hit that ball in the nose. You don't see him show a lot of emotion. He just will not give a pitcher the satisfaction But he gets this ball pretty well. I mean, this is a home run in Toronto. And you know what he's thinking about that? Toronto's a real live ballpark. I mean, when he hits that ball, and you can see. He got oracled.
Now Buster Posey, who has hit a sacrifice fly to right, knocking in what has been the Giants' only run of the night. That was in the first inning. He flied out to right his next time. Strike one.
Makes you talk to yourself. You get back to the bench and you did everything right, you get nothing for it.
On the inside, and Buster very unhappy with that call.
Take a look at the target and look where he catches it, and he slides over. Yeah, it's definitely a pitcher's strike.
Quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Paxton going right back in there again. You just keep moving in a little bit closer to the hands, a little bit farther off the plate. But Posey, I mean, he's in no position to be able to take that pitch now. He's got to cover it. And when you're that much aware of 97 in on your hands, you're exposed to something away. Going back in again.
That's a fair ball down the left field line. Coming around to score is Austin, and Posey goes into second with a double. It's 5-2 Yankees.
It's heating up. This is not a mistake from Paxton. This thing's got cut. It's going right back into that inside corner, but the problem is he lowers it down around the knees. Posey goes down, stays inside it, and just hooks it fair. That's a quick bat head right there. The Giants been waiting for. And that's when the RBIs start coming.
Now Longoria, who has walked and grounded out to short. A couple of hard hit balls in a row here. Belt with the deep fly ball caught near the wall in center. And Posey with the double right down the left field line. Canely heating up in the bullpen. Evan Longoria hitting .220 for the year, a .260 on base. Trying to get his bat going. A couple of home runs on the road trip for him. In the dirt. And Posey will hang on. Romine knocked it down, kept it in front of him. James Paxton now at 101 pitches. Working here in the sixth. And Boone on the right, Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, on the left for the Yankees. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. 97-mile-an-hour high fastball there. Canely looks like he's ready in the bullpen. Giants now with 4 hits. Only their second hit since the first inning, the double by Buster Posey. Buster has knocked in both of the Giants' runs in this game. Staying with hard stuff so far against Evan Longoria.
Paxton, I mean, you're going to see a lot of fastballs. I mean, he uses his fastball more than, well, he's second highest in the major leagues. Only Lance Lynn throws more fastballs than Paxton.
Yet another fastball fouled out of play.
Well, he's not making mistakes either with the location-wise. He's pounding the hands. When he elevates, he's going above the. When he's out over the plate, he's going above the letters.
Well, that one apparently broke the bat of Longoria. Gets a new piece of wood. Pablo Sandoval lurking in the dugout near the bat rack. Solarte on deck, then Crawford, and then the pitcher's spot. One out in the inning. A run in. Posey at second. Did he swing? Yes, he did. Reynolds, the first base umpire, made the call. 2 down.
8 strikeouts tonight for Paxton, and 7 of the 8 have been swinging missed strike threes.
Solarte, who has broken his bat with a runner in scoring position. He had 2 men on, 2 men out of the first, got ahead of the count, and then Paxton got right in on the hands and shattered his bat as he grounded into a force out to end the inning. And then bounced back to the pitcher in the fourth, so he's 0 for 2. The former Yankee facing the team with which he first came to the big leagues. That is into center field. It gets down. Base hit. This time, Solarte gets Paxton. And now the Giants have cut that lead in half. The 5-1 lead is 5-3.
And they get a tying runner coming into the batter's box with Brandon Crawford. And that's going to be the last pitch that we watch Paxton throw. And let's watch it. A fastball right into the hands at the belt, not a hanger. That rang up the hand of Solarte. But he's strong enough to muscle out in the outfield, gets himself a 2-out RBI. That's money hitting right there. Watch his hand. He's got bees in his thumbs, but he'll take it. He's got an RBI with it. Ooh.
New pitcher coming in.
Dominant. He's a mid to high 90s fastball with a great changeup to lefties. He's also got a slide, but you're going to see changeup fastball combination if you're hitting left side.
So Tommy Kahnle, who used to be in the National League with the Colorado Rockies. Pablo Sandoval with the pitcher due up next is on deck. Crawford has seen Kahnle just a handful of times. 0 for 2 with a walk against him. He powered that one right by him. A ball and a strike. Crawford tonight has struck out and singled.
High fastball has been a tough pitch for Crawford to cover this year.
So Kahnle being used by Aaron Boone almost like a situational lefty here, and he's done well against lefties, as you mentioned. That one ricochets off the glove, and another runner moves into scoring position. Solarte over to second. It'll be scored as a wild pitch.
That's the changeup. We talked about the key to this game would be whoever plays the cleanest game, whoever makes the fewest 90-foot mistakes. And that was a 90-foot mistake. Guys have an opportunity to take advantage of it. Got good speed at second base, and you got pretty average arms across the board in the outfield for the Yankees. And remember, Solarte is going to get a 2-out jump.
Off the outside at 96. 3-1 the count. Kahnle in 9 1/3 innings pitched this year has only allowed 4 hits, but he has walked 5. Given up 1 home run. 5-3 New York. Oh.
And that's about as good a changeup as you can throw. That pitch right there just impressed Crawford. When Kahnle was in the National League, I don't think he even had that changeup. Hard throw with a hard slider. And yeah, that changeup has really made him tough, especially on lefties.
Full count. And the high fastball lofted into the upper deck. Giants trying to play catch up. Yankees carried a 5-1 lead into this half inning. 2 runs have scored an inning that started with Tyler Austin drawing a walk. Posey then doubled him home. And Solarte singled Posey home. Solarte at second with 2 down. There's that changeup again. Inning over. Now we head to the late innings. The big hitters coming up for the Yankees. Garner. Now we'll face Luke Voit, who's had 2 hits, a single and a double, and a run batted in. He's the Yankees' leading home run and RBI man so far this year. And the cutter stays off the inside for ball 1. Giants had Sam Dyson warming up with Pablo Sandoval on deck, ready to hit for the pitcher, but Crawford strikeout ended the inning. And that cutter down and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Voit. Gleyber Torres, the third place hitter, and then Gio Urshela due up third in the inning. 5 runs, 11 hits for the Yankees. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Giants. And now the count is 3-0 to Voit.
That was a big pitch. Giants, I mean, they need to shut down inning. They just get 2 runs. They get to within 2 of the lead. You cannot have a free pass to start an inning off here.
At the knees for a strike.
That's a good 3-0 pitch. Yeah, it's a tough situation that Vincent has put himself in, because you've got a guy up there with power who's very confident right now.
Look out. Well, he does walk him. Time for Great Clips, great hair of the game. Great Clips wants you to love your haircut. That's why they created Clip Notes. Notes that tell them what you like, so you get your same great haircut every time, anywhere. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Gleyber Torres has doubled home a run, had a sacrifice bunt, and hit a fly ball into a double play. Steven Duggar made a great throw, catching a fly ball in the 5th inning, and threw out Voit trying to tag up and go to third. One ball, 1 strike. This guy came up last year, gave the Yankees a lot of energy. Very young player. An exciting player. And they have been charting his progress through the minors. They expected him to be an impact player. That cutter is off the outside. 2-1. This team won 100 games last year and still finished 8 games back of the Red Sox. And Aaron Boone says that this team has been fun with all of the injuries and the way they have responded, the way they've played with all the young guys. That is just in front of Kevin Pillar, who was playing very deep for Torres.
He makes a great play. I mean, he was charging hard. He was thinking catch the whole time. Now there comes that point in time where you're thinking, did I get in too close? I can't catch the ball, but is it going to get by me? And you can't have that happen. And he closes it up, and he just makes a great play. Keeps the ball in front of him and keeps the first and second situation.
He almost looked like a guy who did some catching at some time. I mean, he kind of squared up the upper body to knock it down with his chest.
That's exactly what he did.
So the Yankees are set up nicely. 2 men on, nobody out of the cleanup hitter, Gio Urshela. 2 for 3 with an RBI in this game.
You know, I watch Pillar. We're just getting a small sample size of what he can do defensively, and it's hard for me to believe he's never won a Gold Glove. Now, he's been a finalist just about every year he's been in the big leagues, but little things like what he just did there, once he got too deep in charging the ball, where he kept the ball in front of him. Those are Gold Glove plays. That's the difference between an average outfielder and an excellent outfielder, a Gold Glove outfielder.
Well, he never won the Gold Glove. He did win Defensive Player of the Year, which is a different award given by different people and not the official. The Gold Glove awards are the official awards recognized by Major League Baseball. Tough to win it when you're a center fielder in the same league with Mike Trout, I guess. The Yankees have a left-hander, Zach Britton, warming up in their bullpen. The Yankees took great pains. They already had an outstanding bullpen last year that helped them win 100 games. Brian Cashman, the general manager. There's Britton. He went out and took great pains to make their bullpen even better. Of course, they have Aroldis Chapman at the end of the game, one of the top closers around. There's a 2-2 count now. Not easy to play come from behind baseball in the late innings against the Yankees. Of course, they also, one of the big free agent signings that they made in the offseason was Adam Ottavino, who had a monster year for the Rockies last year. Out of play off to the right. Still 2-2 to Urshela. Yankees have 12 hits now. This has not been the power show. The Yankees last year set the all-time Major League record for home runs in a season. They hit 267 home runs, which is rather astonishing. And they've had a lot of home runs this year. Crawford. They get one. And two. And that was huge. Voit moves over to third, but with two down.
Yeah, the beauty of a great feed. And that's one thing that has always been a specialty of Brandon Crawford. Going back, a perfect feed right above the chest, and Solarte makes a very clean exchange. Solarte, I mean, he's got a good arm. I mean, he's got an arm you can play shortstop comfortably with. Boy, just perfect strikes from Crawford to Solarte, from Solarte to Austin.
Now Cameron Maybin. And called a strike. Maybin knocked in a run in the first inning. The first pitch he saw from Madison Bumgarner, he lined for a single into right center field to knock in the Yankees' second run. Since then, he has struck out and flied out to center. Popped up. Duggar in shallow right. Vincent gets out of it nicely. Ball is going to be the pinch hitter for Nick Vincent, who did well to get out of a tight spot. Two men on, nobody out, and the cleanup hitter up. So here is Britton, who at one time was the closer for the Baltimore Orioles, and at one time maybe the best closer in the American League.
Well, he's unique. I mean, he's basically a two-pitch guy, a fastball slider, but the fastball, it's just a hard, heavy sinker, and you're going to see a lot of them. Mid to high 90s with velocity, more mids than highs.
That one looked like it tailed away a little bit at 93 miles an hour.
He gets lots of movement, especially when he's down around the knees.
High and foul deep down the left field line. Pablo really smoked that one. They had home run distance and then some. Lacking in accuracy. Pablo is hitting .286 versus left-handed pitching, meaning batting right-handed. That's been his weakness for the past few years. He says because he had the damaged shoulder, which is all healed up now. And he was way out in front of that curveball at 78 miles an hour.
Well, you really can't argue with him with what we saw all spring. I mean, his right-handed swing had speed. It was quick. Ball popped off his barrel head.
Pablo's had 6 hits in 17 at-bats as a pinch hitter. 5 doubles out of those 6 pinch hits. Sinking down and away into the dirt. 2-2.
Duggar on deck.
Pablo got a little experience against Britton when Pablo was a Boston Red Sox player and Britton was the closer for Baltimore. He's 1 for 4 lifetime against him. In the dirt, bounced in front of home plate.
Yeah, that pitch was down there by design. They're trying to take advantage of the aggressiveness that Sandoval has, especially in the below the strike zone.
Right off the end of the bat, and LeMahieu throws him out. 1 away.
Well, the homestand continues Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the Dodgers coming in, making their first visit north to Oracle Park. Tickets for this series start as low as $17. First pitch for all 3 games is 6:45. Tickets always available at sfgiants.com.
Stephen Duggar to the plate now. Duggar has struck out twice in this one. Called out on strikes his last time. Kevin Pillar out on deck. The Giants need a base runner to send the possible tying run to the plate.
This is, you don't see many left-handed sinker ballers like Britton. He's very unique. And when you're hitting off him from the left side, if he throws his movement, it's going to work its way down into you. You see a lot of lefties bang that ball off their feet with that hard sinker that he has. Just late, quick movement at high velocity. Not an easy guy to barrel up. He's got the gift of late movement.
Well down, and he's ahead of him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had 47 saves for Baltimore in 2016, 3 years ago, and his earned run average that year was 0.54. In 67 innings, he allowed 4 earned runs the whole year.
Yeah, that's just an amazing accomplishment.
Almost.
Now, Britton thought it should have been a called strike 3.
He's had some injury problems the last couple of years. And off the foot. That's what you were talking about.
Well, and you pronate early, you pronate harder when you're a sinker baller, which is what gives you your sink. And it is a pitch that I think is harder on your shoulder. But when you got it going good and you can put velocity like he has been able to do in his career, it's a magic pitch.
And the curveball. That froze him. Strike 3 call.
Well, you talk about big night in sports in the Bay Area. Our partner, Dwayne Kuiper, over in the booth tonight doing radio with Dave Fleming. He's got the Warriors on, he's got the Sharks on, and he's doing a baseball game.
Well, and that Warriors game is over. Congratulations. It wasn't easy. And the Sharks have taken the first game of their second round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs, 5-2. The Warriors with a big victory down in LA over the Clippers to eliminate them. Kevin Pillar batting with 2 down and nobody on. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. So the Warriors now have to face James Harden, Chris Paul, and the Houston Rockets. should be quite a series.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. It's the one that everybody wanted to see.
I don't know how he got a piece of that one. 93 miles an hour with movement like that.
You know, it got a piece of Austin Romine too, the catcher. And your reward is you get to get right back down in the squat. He kind of caught that off the tip of his glove. That'll hurt your hand as well.
That ran completely off the plate.
When you catch a sinker ball or fastball, and if he can throw it mid-90 like Britton can, like Sam Dyson can, when you catch it wrong as a catcher, it lights you up. You get a shot of lightning that goes from the palm of your hand up to your shoulder into your earlobe. Then it kind of circles around your forehead like 3 times and goes out the other earlobe. It's just like you don't want to ever catch again.
Two and two the count to Pilar. Austin is on deck. Now it's a full count. Well, he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. If Tyler Austin comes up in this inning, he would be the possible tying run. 5-3. The Yankees lead the Giants. 7th inning. And he gets the walk, and Austin will come up with a chance to do some damage against his old team.
That's a great at bat. And there were some really, really tough takes in that sequence. One thing about Austin, if you watch him swing the bat in batting practice, he thinks right field a lot, and he's got the power to hit the ball out of right field. Doesn't happen often from right-handers. Just 60 in the history of this ballpark since 2000.
Ball one, and the Yankees are going to get some more action going in their bullpen. Adam Ottavino will get going. Austin tonight has singled and scored a run, struck out, and walked and scored a run. A little bit high, 2-0. That's 21 pitches thrown in this inning. As Dyson, the right-hander, has been joined by Watson, the left-hander, now in the Giants bullpen. Two and 0 the count. And Pilar back to the bag. Austin has only seen Zach Britton one other time in his American League days. And he struck out against him. But he's got the count in his favor here, 2-0. Second baseman LeMahieu is playing him almost up the middle. The outfield is deep and bunched towards center. And it's too high again. There's Brandon Belt.
And you would definitely let Tyler Austin have at it here, 3-0. He's got the power that justifies it.
And he walks on 4 pitches, 2 straight walks. The possible tying runs are now on base. And Brandon Belt will come up and try and get him home, with Ottavino heating up in the bullpen.
Yeah, Ottavino's thinking about Buster Posey, who's on deck. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, with the glasses on. Aaron Boone, the skipper.
Brandon Belt has never faced Britton before. The catcher, Romine, goes out to talk with him now. Although Ottavino's ready by now. Buster Posey will come out on deck.
No, they're not going to let Ottavino face Belt. That would surprise me.
Belt has had some success against Ottavino. And Ottavino, he's tough, but he's always been murder on right-handed hitters especially. So here's Belt. He has doubled down the right field line, flied out to left and flied out deep to center. 2 on, 2 out. There's that sinker, but just missing around the inside. Ball 1.
Well, one thing we know about Belt, I mean, he's a good middle in low ball hitter. And Zach Britton will give him movement that can feed his power.
He's missed the strike zone with 9 straight pitches. Make it 10 in a row out of the strike zone.
Now Larry Rothschild is going to come out and talk about it right now. And if you take a look at it, I mean, he's not missing big, but he's missing all around the strike zone. A couple of pitches that were up in the sequence to Pilar, I mean, they could have been called strikes by other umpires. And that's exactly what Larry Rothschild is going to talk to him about. Because you're not out of whack. Just concentrate. If you miss middle away. You've got help with the pin here. Do not serve up a cookie to Brandon Belt. He's got too much power. And they also know that power for Belt is down and in. So when you have 10 consecutive pitches in a row where you've missed and you've thrown balls, you have a tendency to just say, I'm just going to throw it over. I need to get a strike. But that's not the case here. They've got a base to play with, and they've got Ottavino loose.
2-0 the count. A big pitch with 2 men on and 2 men out. Ball 3. 11 straight pitches not in the strike zone. And there's Buster Posey on deck.
They're not going to give into him here either. Again, Belt should have the green light. If he gets something that's middle in, just above the knee, he'll get after it.
Three and 1. Pilar at second, Austin at first. Austin is the possible tying run of the game. We both off and running at the crack of the bat with 2 down. 3 and 2.
Stayed in the outside part of the plate. You got great speed at second. You got good speed at first. And they're all going to get a 2-out jump here. Double could tie this game.
Britton is ready. There go the runners. And a walk as it goes to the backstop. He has walked the bases loaded with 2 down. And now we'll see Ottavino as Aaron Boone comes out with an apparent double switch being made here with Buster Posey, who's knocked in 2 of the Giants' runs tonight. And Posey will be facing a guy he has seen many times, Adam Ottavino, the former Rocky. With the congratulations to the Warriors. Brett Gardner is now in the game in center field for the Yankees. And they reworked the outfield, but Gardner will hit in the 9th spot. Maben comes out of the game.
Saw the numbers for Ottavino, and he's a specialist. Very tough on righties with a low 3/4, almost a high sidearm release and a big crossover step.
Buster Posey. Look out. And Ottavino is not the first guy you'd want to bring in, as great as he's been the last couple of years, with the bases loaded. When you need a guy to come in throwing strikes, he can be wild. One and one now.
I think after that first pitch, I think Buster was going to take a strike. Pitcher's going to dig a hole. Let him dig.
Buster has had a sacrifice fly to right, and also an RBI double down the left field line. Britton watching from the Yankee dugout. Base hit could tie the game. And there's his signature pitch.
Yeah, and that's the slider. I mean, it's got a little frisbee in that it breaks flat, but I mean, he throws it from such a tough angle. I mean, it's tough to hang in there with that front side if you're hitting off the right side.
This is not his favorite ballpark in which to pitch. A 5.16 lifetime earned run average in this ballpark. Pilar at third. Austin, the possible tying run at second. Brandon Belt, the possible go-ahead run at first. There you see them. Pilar, Austin, and Belt from third back to first. Two and two, 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you're aware of that slider. You know it's something that he's got if you're hitting from the right side, but you can't ignore a guy that can put 96 miles an hour from a high sidearm delivery and a big crossover step. That gets on you quick.
There's the slider, and it got him looking. The Giants leave them loaded. 5-3 Yankees. We move to
your bucket list. All right, Melanie, I got a couple of answers for you. Will Smith, he's a history buff. He wants to visit Pearl Harbor. Nick Vincent, a thrill seeker. He wants to skydive. Boach, he wants to travel to New Zealand. And this is a special one. I went outside of the box a little bit, gentlemen. Mike Krukow, you're going to like this. I spoke to Tess Oliphant. She's one of our rock stars in the Giants Community Relations Department, and her parents should be watching. Tess wants to go salmon fishing with her dad in Alaska. So, Pops, maybe we can make that happen, huh? All right, if you've got a question for your favorite player or coach here with the Giants, tweet it to me at AmyGGiants. Hashtag it AskAmyG. John?
All right, thanks, Amy. And for the Giants, Sam Dyson is in to pitch. And the Giants do some maneuvering so that he will hit in the spot where Belt had been. Pablo Sandoval stays in to play first base, and Tyler Austin moves from first base to left field. So Belt is out of the game.
Saw the numbers for Sam Dyson, averaging just about a strikeout an inning. He's had two really good sinker balls in this game tonight. Zach Britton and now Sam Dyson.
Romine hit a single, starting a rally in the sixth against Bumgarner. That's a foul ball. His only hit of the night. He scored a run 2 singles later. Talkman is on deck, and then Tyler Wade is due up third in the inning. Yankees 5 runs, 12 hits. The Giants 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. The Giants were handed a possible rally there with 3 straight walks in the 7th after 2 were down, but Ottavino got out of it. No swing, says Jim Reynolds. Nick Vincent got into some trouble in the 7th, got out of it. Popped up. Pablo comes over, but runs out of room.
Yep, you need a ticket to catch that one. He wants to light it up so bad. Unicorn. They exist.
Brandon Crawford. Oh, the ball almost hopped right over him. There's a little bad hop out there in the infield dirt, but Crawford stayed with it. One away.
I mean, you get that much topspin on a ball. I mean, you don't know what it's going to do. It's rare that you see a little give when Crawford receives the ball. And that thing really jumped on him. Comes up. Whoop.
He must have thought he was back in Scottsdale in the Cactus League there for a moment.
Yeah, we're taking infield in the parking lot. That had a Scottsdale bounce to it, didn't it?
That's the home office for bad hops. Here is Mike Talkman, who has gone 1 for 3. Struck out twice and then singled his last time. There is Austin. Nobody goes out further from the infield than Brandon Crawford, do they?
Well, he gets after it. But he also knows that when you have an infielder playing the outfield, like Austin, they're going to play deep. So you know that once he gets set up, you're going to have to be responsible for a little more territory going back.
This is Tyler Wade. This is his first at bat. He came in as a pinch runner for Estrada in the 6th inning. 5-3, the Yankees lead. Dyson is the third Giants pitcher of the game. Yankees scored early against Bumgarner, 2 in the first, and then they kept adding to it. Another run in the 3rd, another in the 5th, and another in the 6th. Bumgarner gave up 5 runs and 11 hits in 5 2/3. One and 1 the count now to Tyler Wade. Brett Gardner in the 9th spot on deck. 2 down, bases empty. And that's in there, the sinker for a strike. 1 and 2 now. That came back, strike 3 called. Wow, what a pitch. And a strong inning for Dyson. Longoria, Solarte, and Crawford coming up. And he's a Bay Area native, grew up in Vallejo. And they put a video tribute to the outstanding career of CC Sabathia on the board earlier in the night, and he got a nice ovation from the crowd here. Doffed his cap from the Yankee dugout.
Well, I mean, he's a Vallejo guy. He's got an anchor here in the Bay Area. And a lot of people who have, just baseball fans have appreciated what this guy has done in his career. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Longoria in the right field, and Talkman is right there. Hardly had to move on that one. Longoria is 0 for 3 with a walk. 1 away. Solarte will come up now. CC Sabathia had been with the Cleveland Indians and had a brilliant career with Cleveland, and then in a pennant race the Milwaukee Brewers traded for him. He was heading into free agency, and then the Yankees signed him as a free agent, and Brian Cashman went to him and said, it's not about what you do as a pitcher entirely here. Part of what we want you for is we think you're just what we need in our clubhouse, a leader, a guy who sets the tone. And Sabathia said that is what inspired him to sign with the Yankees. He was into that whole notion of being that guy. And they went on and they won the World Series. They signed him the year they were moving into their new Yankee Stadium, and they won the World Series that year.
It's going to be really interesting to see what he does next once he retires as a player, because the game needs him, and it's going to be up to him as to where he wants to go. Does he want to coach? Does he want to manage? Does he want to go in the front office? But he has to stay in the game.
Two and one now to Solarte. Sabathia, who was on the disabled list, has pitched 3 games this year with a 2.4 earned run average. Now has 247 major league victories. Solarte knocked in a run with a single his last time. Look at that slider. Down and in, out of the strike zone.
Yeah, Ottavino's unique. I mean, he just give you high velocity from the high side arm, and then he's got the slider that you just saw, and he also throws a cutter. But it's how he delivers the ball that sets him apart from the herd.
Well, he didn't get the call on that one, and he couldn't believe it. So it's ball 4. He thought he had himself a strike there.
3-1. They set up in the inside corner. This thing just goes off the plate away. Had they set up in the outside corner, they may have gotten that pitch. But once you throw it outside the knees, there's a lot of umpires that just don't give that call. And Ramon De Jesus is one of them.
And the Giants don't have many guys who've done some damage against Ottavino, but Brandon Crawford is one of them who has. He has 5 hits in 14 at bats, including a double and a homer. A .357 average against Ottavino. Again off the outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Crawford tonight has struck out, singled to center, and struck out again. Giants down by 2. Crawford has not hit a home run yet this year. Again off the outside. 2-0. So following the walk to Solarte, Ottavino falls behind Brandon Crawford.
He's going to pound that outside corner. I don't know. If you see him throw the inside part of the plate with a fastball, I think that'll be a mistake. He wants to let that movement, which runs away from the lefty, work on the outside corner.
That's the call on that one.
It's a perfect 2-0 pitch. Not a whole lot you can do about that one except tip your cap.
Ottavino has now pitched right up to the moment 13 2/3 innings this year, and he has walked 11. He's also given up 2 home runs, which is a lot for that number of innings pitched. 3 infielders to the right of second. And there is a high fly ball into shallow right center. Tuckman in under it.
And Crawford heads back to the dugout thinking, I just missed one. That was the only breaking ball that he saw in the sequence. And that laid up there middle in. And he just got underneath it.
Now Pablo Sandoval with 2 down. Pablo came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th and grounded out to second, batting right-handed against Britton. He's had 2 hits in 10 career at-bats versus Ottavino. Ottavino is in the vanguard of using all of the technology now available to pitchers. With cameras and computers, spin rates. And that's back out of play. He had such a disappointing second half 2 years ago with the Rockies. They left him off the postseason roster. So he went back home to New York. He was with the Rockies, but he's from New York City. And he purchased at his own expense all this equipment and then went to work that off season, reworking his delivery, trying to make sure he could repeat his delivery more often. Whoa, man. Now that was a low strike.
that part of the strike zone, the outside corner to lefties, has been a very frustrating location for a lot of people in this game, not just hitters, pitchers. Just has not been consistent.
1 ball and 2 strikes now. And he struck him out. And we're heading to the 9th inning. Brett Gardner will be coming up. 5-3 New York. For the Giants and the Yankees. Pre-game live will commence at noon both tomorrow and Sunday. Then Monday night, the Dodgers come to San Francisco for the first time this year. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights, 6:30 TV time. Pre-game live will begin at 5:30, and then the Jets will hit the road going to Cincinnati and then Colorado. Mark Melancon with the Yankees leading the Giants 5-3 takes over here in the 9th. And Brett Gardner will lead off against him. Melancon, a former Yankee. Melancon is in his 11th game. 10 2/3 shutout innings so far for him. 7 hits allowed.
It's been absolutely fantastic. You think about how he put together his spring training. There was some real concern about it. He really started out slow, and he did not have an easy spring. And then long about the last week of spring, the cutter came back, the curveball came back.
Pablo Sandoval, what a pickup. Melancon with the putout. Beautiful.
Just a display of soft-handedness. I think the one ground ball that illustrates soft hands is the high backhander. And he goes back and chokes off the bounce. Quick steps, as Ron Wotus likes to talk about. Quick steps for an infielder are key. Nice play.
Now LeMahieu.
Little choppy steps. That's what he wants to see from an infielder. He doesn't like long steps from an infielder.
LeMahieu, the leadoff man, is 2 for 4, a double and a single. High and tight. Mark Melancon was originally drafted by the Yankees back in 06. And he got to the big leagues for the first time in 09. And again briefly in 2010. And in 2010 they traded him to Houston. That's down the right field line. A base hit into the first archway. Duggar gets it back in. A double for LeMahieu, his 3rd hit.
He really has tormented the Giants. Most of his career, of course, with the Rockies, but now Giants figures, all right, LeMahieu's out of the division. They see him tonight, another 3 hit night, 3 for 5.
Including 2 doubles.
Yeah, I mean, and for a guy who's got a cutter, if you're hitting off of Melancon from the right side, you've got to think right field. That's always been the strength of LeMahieu. He's a great right field approach guy. And he beat that pitch, and it really wasn't that much of a hanger. Just good hitting.
Luke Voit, who's had a single and a double and a walk, knocked in his 20th run of the year with a double in the 5th inning against Bumgarner. He leads the Yankees with 7 homers and 20 RBIs. One and Melancon gets the low strike.
So cover at 92.
Yankees have had a lot of at bats like this with a runner at 2nd or 3rd in scoring position, as we call it. They are 5 for 14 so far in those important at bats, so they've done well in a game where they have not hit the long ball. The count is 1-1, and sometimes Yankee fans complain that the Yankees are too much based on hitting the long ball. When they don't hit home runs, they don't score much. But tonight, they have not hit a single home run. They've had so many hits and so many at bats like this. Well, this single could knock in a run. Giants have had 8 of those kind of at bats. Luke Voit, big and strong. Used to be with the Cardinals. And the curveball, he took it.
Yeah, Buster Posey really made a nice play on the second pitch against the bat. That curveball that bounced out in front of home plate. I mean, you don't want to give up 90 feet here with one out. Kept that ball in front of him. And then he had to hold his position in second. That straight 12-6 block, or that curveball that Melanson throws, that's not an easy one to block.
Drilled deep center. Pilar all the way back. It's gone. Just over his glove. The 8th home run of the year for Voit. And the Yankees have opened it up as Yankee fans shout Luke. 7-3 Yankees.
Now he missed 2 breaking balls and got into a 2-1 count. And he comes out into the fastball. Get an idea of just how strong Voit is taking on center field in this ballpark. And I thought for the longest time Pilar had a chance to catch this ball. How close was he? Close. Hit off the little finger of that glove.
There is the long ball. The Yankees' #1 weapon.
Goes up. Just as his arm hits the wall, it kind of jarred him. You know, he's the kind of guy that he thinks if he touches it, he can catch it. But it would have been a miraculous play.
That's the 43rd home run hit by the Yankees this year. This is their 26th game. And Luke Voit has 8 of them. 22 batted in, 3 RBIs tonight. Gleyber Torres, the hitter. They had their closer, Aroldis Chapman, getting ready in the bullpen, but after the home run, they got somebody else throwing out there. It's no longer a safe situation. And a curve in the dirt. Aroldis Chapman continues to heat up in the Yankee bullpen, but a right-hander, Jonathan Holder, has gotten up as well now. 2-2 the count to Torres, who has a double and a single. It's softly. Longoria in the dirt, and Pablo can't dig it out. Error on Longoria.
Well, and that's one that Sandoval's going to feel bad about too. I mean, ball's low. It's a little bit of a short hop. And that's one that first basemen think that they should get just about 99 out of 100 times. So it winds up being a tough error.
Now Gio Urshela, who had 2 singles and a run batted in, 2 for 4. The top of the Yankee order, LeMahieu, the leadoff man, 3 hits. Voit hitting second, 3 hits and a walk. And the third place hitter, Torres, now with a double and a single, and now reaching an error. The 3 of them have been on base 10 times. LeMahieu scored 3 runs. Voit now has scored 2, and Torres has scored 1. 0-2 the count. The Giants bullpen gets busy. Travis Bergen, the lefty, will start to throw. Voit acquired from the Cardinals. Pretty good pickup, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all the injuries that's happened to this offense. You think about the Yankees with 13 guys in the DL, a lot of their offense sitting down trying to heal. But this guy has stepped in and has given them 8 homers and 21 RBIs in the month of April. I'd say that's a good deal.
After hitting 14 home runs down the stretch last year in 132 at bats.
Saw Aaron Judge. He's one of those 13 on the DL.
Crawford behind the back.
Wow.
Solarte covering. That did not appear to be a possibility. And then he made the behind the back pass. Looked like he was playing for the Warriors.
One shortstop robbing another. Nice recovery play, too, from Solarte, who realizes he's not going to have a play. He's got to get back because they're going to have a chance to get the force. And Crawford, another high hop and an off-balance backhanded flip. That's just a miraculous play. Wow.
So no hit for Urshela, hitting into a force out. Here is Mike Ford, just brought up a few days ago from the minor leagues. Hit a home run, his first as a Yankee in Anaheim, and the curveball a strike.
Again, watch the backhanded flip. Here's the exchange, glove hand to bare hand. I don't know how much of a grip he got into. It looked like it took him a while to get the ball balanced in his hand, and he gets a strike off to Solarte. Oh, my word.
That is a foul ball. Ford, 3 hits, 23 at bats, including that home run in Anaheim earlier this week. Guy who's getting a shot here, 26 years old. Not a lot of hits for Ford, but a lot of walks. So a 355 on base average. Doesn't look like a guy you'd put in the leadoff spot, though. Doesn't appear to be much of a base stealing threat. Two and two.
Just a bit outside.
7-3 Yankees. And Aroldis Chapman has stayed up in the bullpen for the Yankees all this while. Maybe he'll be coming in anyway.
Yeah, they got an inning in a third out of Ottavino. I'd be surprised if they sent him back out there. Of course, they just pinch hit for him, so he's got a pitch. But there's nobody else really ready to go.
Well, they got the right-hander's been up, and he's still up out there. He's ready to go now, and he's just not throwing anymore. A holder. Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach out there, former Major League pitcher.
I think they'd throw Chapman out there. He may need an inning. Oh, they get a 4-1 lead. Your closer sits down. He gets off the mound.
3-2 the count. There goes the runner. Slow chop. Crawford was deep. And that's an infield hit. Nobody's at third base. And getting over there, Melanson, he takes the throw and out at third. Longoria made the feed. Come in anyway. He had gotten up, getting ready for the ninth inning with the score 5-3, and he stayed up even after they lengthened the lead. So here he is. You see his numbers for the year.
Well, 13 strikeouts in 10 innings. He's not throwing quite as hard. I mean, he still can hit 100, but he's not hitting 104. In his ninth year at the big league level. 31 years of age, 6'4", 220 pounds, and you're going to see 2 pitches, and you're still going to see a quality fastball. It's high 90s, and they've tightened up his slider. Slider's a little quicker than it has been, and he's throwing it a little bit more.
Did not get the call on that one. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Chapman, we're used to seeing ridiculous-looking numbers with him, but in 10 innings, 9 hits allowed, 13 strikeouts. Good numbers, but not great numbers and not extraordinary numbers. 2-0. And he has been throwing mostly strikes this year. In 10 innings, only 2 walks and a hit batsman.
I mean, you lose a little fastball, and all of a sudden you need to tighten up your slider and maybe start thinking about another pitch. As we mentioned, in 9 years of his career, he's in his 9th year, he's always had the premier fastball. The hardest thrower in baseball for a long time.
Well, he wanted that last pitch called a strike, and he didn't get it. Strike one, 3-1.
One thing too about Chapman, I mean, he's very athletic, and you watch him run in the outfield. I mean, he's an athlete. It shouldn't be that much of a challenge for him to learn a split or a changeup.
He has walked the left-handed hitting Duggar, who had struck out 3 straight times in this game. That's the 5th walk received by the Giants in these last 3 innings. But here is Pilar, who received one of those walks in the 7th.
Well, this is an opportunity too for the Giants to get a lot of pitches out of Chapman. Giants have a quick turnaround. Well, this is a 7:15 game tonight. Tomorrow's a day game. Quick turnaround. You get 25 pitches out of Chapman. It may affect the game tomorrow, even if it doesn't affect the game tonight.
Pilar 2 hits and 6 at bats with a double. Versus Chapman, he struck out a couple of times. Lefties have only been hitting 100 against Chapman for the season. But he walks the lefty, Duggar. Now he's in the dirt with that slider. Romine keeps it in front of him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, there's Chapman, who we're used to seeing just his average fastball being around 100, 101. But with age, it was started to erode a little bit, which is not to say it's not a great fastball any longer. That comes back and gets the outside corner.
Yeah, I mean, until you get to 2 strikes, you're going to look fastball off Chapman, period.
Eric Kratz with a bat in the dugout. Tyler Austin is on deck, and then the pitcher's spot in the 3rd spot in the order where Belt had been. That ball is hit high and deep down the left field line toward the corner. It stays in the yard and is caught in foul ground by Tyler Wade.
Pretty nice play by Tyler Wade. He had to go a long way to get that ball.
We got used to seeing balls like that go out of the yard in Toronto.
I'm thinking, Pilar's thinking the same thing. In the end, Wade makes it look like a can of corn. Right in the sweet spot.
1 away. Hit hard by Kevin Pilar, and he got nothing for it. Back to the bag is Duggar.
Not the time to get picked off.
Giants are down by 4 runs. So far this year, the average fastball for Chapman, 97. About 97.5. 0-1. The last time the Giants played the Yankees was in 2016, 3 years ago. That was the year Chapman was regularly throwing 103 miles an hour, and maybe once or twice in every start he would be clocked at 104, 105. Just a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, if you ask Chapman if it was a little bit low. I don't think he'd have said yeah.
What about all those low strikes I was watching on the monitor back in the clubhouse?
It's a little inconsistent down around the knees.
Off the outside. 2-1. Austin tonight has been on base 3 times against his old team, the Yankees. He has hit a single and scored a run. He's walked and scored a run, and he walked again in the 7th inning. He's been on base 3 times. Eric Kratz is on deck. 2-1 the count with 1 out and 1 on. And 97 miles an hour. Foul tipped into the glove of Romine. Giants have only 5 hits in this game. But they have walked 7 times. And a strikeout. 98 miles an hour.
And he reached back with 2 strikes. That was his best velocity fastball in this appearance.
And that leaves it to Eric Kratz. It was 2 weeks ago tonight that the Giants played the 18-inning game right here in this ballpark. And Kratz ended up knocking in what proved to be the winning run in the last of the 18th. Kratz has had 3 hits in 22 at-bats for the year, with 2 runs batted in, including that 18th inning RBI 2 weeks ago. Duggar the runner at first. Voit plays behind him. A ball and a strike. Buster Posey would be next. Kratz just trying to extend the inning here. Back out of play. The Giants are down to their final strike.
Yeah, that's the one that Kratz was sitting on.
.99 miles an hour, but maybe a little overthrow there.
Yeah, you know, you're throwing 99 to 100. You could overthrow. And most of the times if you overthrow, you miss high. A high 99, that's not an easy assignment. But you're right. You need a little bit of a front shoulder fly and drag the arm a bit. Trying to add on with 2 strikes.
2-2 the count. Oh, nasty. And that brings it to an end. A 19-pitch outing for Aroldis Chapman. The Yankees jumped on Bumgarner for 2 in the first and led from then on and kept adding on all the way through until the 9th inning here.
Well, you're right. I mean, 15 hits. That's a lot of opportunity. And, you know, for this Yankee team, the Giants had heard that this is not one that's based on power. They put hits together, and they backed up that scout report tonight. And James Paxton was very good.
Metallica night. And but it was mostly all Yankees after that. The Yankees over the Giants.